Welcome back to the Gobby Gaffer office here at SC Cambuur, and in today's episode we have two games for you, one in the Champions League and one in the Eredivise. Couple of things to tell you first. The ground improvements are being completed and we now have extra seats in the ground. So now, as you can see, we've got a capacity of 18,750. It's still not enormous. Whether the board have got more plans to, that's kind of one corner that we've done. Whether they're going to do the other three corners, who knows. We're in the Champions League now. Although having said that, this is slightly weird. And yes, I know, spoiler alert, we're having a look at the schedule. And this is kind of telling you what we've been up to. But what I did want to show you was that we've actually played our first game in the Champions League against Olympiacos. It was a home game. Only 3,750 fans. Now, I'm not quite sure whether that's European rules because our ground wasn't quite finished and wasn't up to standard. Maybe, not quite sure. When I'm playing the game, it's still showing the ground empty. There may be a reason for that. It might not be a bug. It might be the fact that we are very, very limited in the attendance that we can have. It might be European rules. I don't know. But I was quite disappointed about that, 3,750. You know, I mean, these games are meant to be Champions League games, full house, great atmosphere, and we didn't quite achieve that. Anyway, while we're on the schedule, so, you know, you can all see there what the results have been like. After the NAC Breeder game, we had a game against Almelo at home, beat them 3-1. Chucked a little friendly in there. Then we played Wilhelm 2, if you remember. Started the season off really, really well and were top of the league. So we beat them 2-0. Then we played the Champions League game and quite disappointing, really. I know we're still new to European football, but when you see the teams that are in our little, you know, 8-game group, Olympiacos, they're a 3.5-star team. We are a 3.5-star team now. I expected to get a result out of that one. We actually battered them and came away with a 0-0. Quite disappointing. I think there was a bit of a carryover there. So we played Utrecht next. Again, another boring 0-0. And then we picked it up a little bit against Sittard and we beat them 2-0. There's goals coming from all over the pitch at the moment, so that's quite nice. Van Dijven scored a couple of goals in the last game, but we are getting goals from the two wingers. We're getting goals from the midfield, so that's all very nice. If we can just add a few more from our strikers now. They did start the season very, very well. You saw Delap and Van Dijven score, you know, goals in the first two games we watched. Then they dried up a little bit. So we need them to pick up the pace, bang the goals in, get goals from the wingers and midfielders running forward. If we can spread the goals around and score plenty of goals, then, you know, we're more assured of winning games, obviously. Couple of other little bits of news before we get into some actual football. So Fatia, I'm pinning a lot of hopes on Fatia this season. He's got a 17 for free kick taking. He looks an absolutely amazing prospect, and I've been trying to play him in most of the games. Fortunately, got a bad injury. He's out for 4 to 5 weeks. Also, Rojas, you'll know Marco Rojas by now. I've spoken about him an awful lot. He was the grumpy player, grumpiness caused by the fact I didn't bring a teammate in for him to settle in. He never lost that grumpiness. I kept checking. He was still grumpy. Although he had a great season last season, still very grumpy. So in the end, obviously the January transfer window's been and gone. In the end, I decided to cash in on him, and we did sell him. And just to keep you fully updated, I didn't bring any new players in. I have got money in the bank, so maybe come January, once we see how this team is playing and how this tactic and formation is working, maybe come January, we might need to go in and sign. But I've got a couple of million in the bank now, and I've got an excess wage budget, so you know, that's a possibility for January. But so transfers out, there were a little bit of movement there just before the end of the January transfer window. So Krasnich went to Vitesse for 1.5 million. Robbie Blackburn, the English striker that I brought in, he's gone on loan to Rotherham, and then the aforementioned Marcus Rojas went to St. Pauli for 2.7 million. Wasn't quite as much as I would have liked for him, but nobody was actually bidding what I wanted. I mean, I would have taken probably 3.5 million for him. He was valued at 4.1. We agreed with him 4.1 million, and he was quite happy with that, but nobody was bidding that kind of money. And the last thing that, you know, you want in Football Manager is an unhappy player in the dressing room, because sooner or later you'll get the dreaded team leaders want a meeting with you. What's going on with this player? And it just gets a little bit silly. You've then got to start button clicking. If you click the wrong button, then woe betide you. And just another quick look then. So the 8 teams that we have to play, we've already played Olympiacos. Like I say, disappointing 0-0 draw. The next game, and the game that you're going to watch today, is going to be CFR Cluj. We're playing them away from home. Then we've got Slavia Prague, another away game. Then we've got Villarreal, another away game. Then we've got Chelsea at home. Then we've got, what's that? Crvena Zvezda. I'm sure some of these names, they just pick letters out of the alphabet and stick them together. But anyway, we've got them at home. I would expect 3 points out of that one, but again, you never know. And then we've got quite an easy one. We've got PSG away. And the last game will be VfL Wolfsburg, and we've got them at home. So those are the 8 games that we're going to play, and hopefully we can pick up enough points like we did last season, and we can get into the Champions League at last 16. Anyway, so you're now all nicely caught up. I've got a plane to catch. I've got to get to Romania. We'll see you in the dugout. Well, welcome to Romania for this game, Champions League game against Cluj. And the team for today is Rakoba in goal, back 4 of Chrisen, Hato, Buckman and Tavares. The midfield 3 are Helgeson, Ramsey and Lakar. We've got one of the new lads, Jaeger, playing as an inside forward. Delgado's a little bit tired, but we can bring him on if we need him. Consacao is on the other wing, and we've got Van Dijven up front today. And we get a highlight straight from the kickoff. You know what I think about highlights straight from the kickoff. But we do seem to be putting the ball through, and we've hit the crossbar in the first 17 seconds. So that was the highlight, us hitting the crossbar. We do seem to be getting quite a lot of the ball here in the early minutes, which is nice to see. Jaeger, lovely ball into the box. And the keeper, oh, flagged offside was that? Thought the keeper had dropped that one then. So we do seem to have started quite brightly. XG of 0.42. Pass completion's a little bit low. It's been quite even on possession. So Helgeson, back to Lakar, Ramsey, through to Van Dijven, and he puts the ball wide. We're just going to step it up a little bit now. We're going to go balanced. Just felt our way into the game there. We've not conceded, but we have had a few tries at goal, and nothing's coming off at the moment. Lakar through to Ramsey. Nice ball there out to Consacao. Is he going to sling that in the box? He's going to put that in very, very low. And again, another shot hits somebody's ankles and doesn't find the back of the net. We've had 8 shots in this game, but none of them have been on target. So we're not being very clinical. Back to Chrisen, Lakar back to Buckman. Buckman out to Tavares. Can he find a ball? No, he's playing it back into Lakar. He's found the ball to Consacao, and that is a lovely, lovely goal. Very, very clinical. It does make you wonder, when we can be that clinical, how those first 3 shots didn't hit the back of the net. We could have been 4-0 up by now. I mean, a little bit more in the clinical department like this. Consecao, I mean, that was a tremendous finish. I thought he'd taken it a little bit too wide, but he found that far post really, really well and just nicked it inside. Consecao, and we've actually got a second. So just before half-time, things have really turned round in this game. So that's Consecao again there with the free kick. And I think it was Helgeson, was it? Or was it an own goal? Helgeson's wheeling away there. Not quite sure who got that one. And half-time's very nearly upon us. Cluj now are coming forward. And that was a very, very poor effort. And if he wants to carry on doing that for the rest of the game, I will be chuffed to little mint balls. We've reached half-time. So I'm going to say that's about as good a first half as you're likely to see. Well, the last 10 minutes of it were. The first 35 minutes, not so great. But players feed on, being happy and, the manager's confidence and a pat on the back. Players feed on that. I find one of the worst things you can do in Football Manager, Van Dijven gets a goal as well with 3-0 up. Yeah, I find one of the worst things you can do in Football Manager is be praising your players when they maybe think that they don't deserve it, or trying to get something out of a squad when, that they don't think that they can do it, because then the morale drops. So, but Van Dijven has put us 3-0 ahead, and I think we can now make a few substitutions. Nice and comfortable this. 4 substitutions. Silkert Dewberry's come on. Debias, the young kid's come on in midfield, as has the Lasada, and Van der Kuster's come on left wing back. So we're just going to stay on a balanced mentality now. There's no need to push this game anymore. We've hit the post again there. So that's twice in this game we've hit the frame of the goal. It just makes you wonder, doesn't it? If we'd have got a better result out of the Olympiacos, we'd have started the Champions League campaign off with 2 wins. That would have been immense. But these are the kind of games we do need to win, because we're not going to beat Chelsea. We're not going to beat PSG. Wolfsburg going to be a very, very difficult game. So we have got some difficult games to play. I mean, I would expect us to beat the unpronounceable team. And Van Dijven gets his second of the game. Yeah, I'm struggling to pronounce the name of that team. I don't even know what country they're from, but I would expect us to beat them. So can we do what we did last season and get through with the last 16? We got 800,000 for the draw against Olympiacos. I'm guessing this one will net us over 2 million. So again, it's more money in the bank. We got 12 million just before the competition started for just getting through to the league stage. So this is the promised land, definitely. I've said that before, but this is where the money is, and this is where we want to be. This is where we need to stay. Keep getting that money in, keep improving the team, keep bringing better and newer players in, and that will elevate us then. So Lasada picks the ball up, he's sticking that out to, oh, their defender's made a hash of that. And then the young kid, I'm so pleased for him. Debias gets his first goal for us, and what a nice finish as well. That their defender there was awful, so that ball was easily winnable, and he just stopped running and let Consecao pick that up. And what a clean finish from Debias. When you think we started the game off so poorly, hitting the frame of the goal and just hitting people's ankles, and then we've been so clinical, and going forward, that's a great result for us. Very well done. That was an excellent win. Massive pat on the back. And hopefully going into the league game, that will give us some, good momentum. And, I mean, this doesn't look right, does it? Does it look right? It looks very nice, but it doesn't look right, does it, really? So after 2 games, guess who's top of the Champions League group? SC Cambuur, play 2 with 4 points. PSG have actually only got 4 points. So there's 4 teams up there, Leipzig and Slavia Prague as well. But quite a few of the teams have only played 1 game. So I'm sure Liverpool will end up top. But it's very nice. I might have that framed actually, put on my office wall. Do you remember the time we were top of the Champions League stage? Do you remember that? It was great. Well, I've got a little smile on my face. Things are going quite well at the moment. We're doing quite well in the league. Obviously, we could have done a little bit better because we've dropped a few points, but we're doing okay. We just need Ajax now to drop a few points as well. The meetings between us and them are going to be really important this season. We need to, because Ajax are not going to drop many points. So that double header that we play with them, you know, it's going to be imperative to get the points off them. But, you know, we're top of the Champions League and we're doing all right in the Eredivise as well. We'll see you for the next game. It's away at Vitesse in the Eredivise. We'll see you in the dugout. Welcome to the Gelladome here in Arnhem, and the team for today to play Vitesse is Recoba in goal. It's more or less an unchanged team. Chrisen, Hato, Butman and Tavares at the back. 3 in midfield, Helgson, Ramsey and Lakar. Delgado comes back on the wing today. Consecao on the other wing with Van Dijven up front. So we get the first highlight. We just pick the ball up in midfield. The ball's played forward to Consecao. He tries to slip in Van Dijven, but that ball misses him and he's picked up. So we come in again though. We're playing really well in the midfield. We're nicking the ball, quite competitive, and we've hit the frame of the goal again. So I think if there was, is there any trophies at the end of the season for hitting the frame of the goal, we will definitely win it. Delgado out to Ramsey. Great tackle there, but unfortunately we didn't win the ball. Vitesse now coming forward. We need to be on our mettle here. Consecao there. Nice little bit of chasing back. Has won the ball. Again, his ball forward doesn't meet Van Dijven. We're trying to thread this ball through for Van Dijven, but it's just not working. Again, that's the 3rd time we've tried to find Van Dijven. It's just not, we're not finding him with that through ball. Ramsey. Over the top, Van Dijven. This time he does latch onto it and he's stuck the ball away. So that's the fourth time of asking. He actually picks the ball up and sticks it in the back of the net. 1-0 up, away at Vitesse. Couldn't ask for more than that really. 24 minutes on the clock. Nice ball over the top from Ramsey. Really nicely weighted. Dropped right in front of him and he finished that with aplomb. So, highlight again, 32 minutes on the clock. Vitesse with the ball, ball over the top. That's Beatenauer. Oh, that was poor. That was really, really poor, that. Really, really poor. I'm not happy with that at all. So we had 3 players there running to mark their centre forward, and we just left the scorer there all on his own. Really poor. Right, they're going to get a rocket for that. Absolute rocket. That's awful. But we do have a corner, and that ball gets headed out. It's come out, got to come out. Vitesse are going to break. But the ball's given away to Consecao, who's not having a very good game, I don't think. His forward balls have not been that great. But here he gets a chance. And this time he does find Van Dijven. And Van Dijven, very clinical, sticks it in the back of the net. And that's another 2 goals for Van Dijven. So I think we can safely assume that this season he's back firing on all cylinders. This was very, very nice. Consecao fired quite a few blanks in the first 25-30 minutes, but this time a very clinical pass. We're 2-1 up. We just need to tighten up in defence. So I'm going to give a little pat on the back there. That goal has changed my half-time talk. I did berate them just before that goal. Whether that made any difference or not, I don't know. but the defending was pretty awful, I have to say. I mean, why you would have 3 players running to mark or running to get the ball off the centre forward and then just leave everybody else, I have no idea. Very, very poor. But the ball is picked up by Chrisen. He was the one who was at fault, Chrisen. So he needs to have a good game this half, otherwise he's not going to play in the next game. But again, the ball, look, we're doing the same thing again. Exactly the same thing. Okay, so I brought Van der Kust on for Chrisen, and I've given the instruction to stay wider. We just seem to be leaving their right winger open to score goals, and it's just not working at all, is it really? So Vitesse with another highlight taken by Recoba. We did get 2.4 million as well, by the way, for that Champions League win, so more money in the bank. And also we've broken a new record for SC Cambuur. We've had 5 clean sheets on the bounce now, so another nice little record broken there. But we're under the cosh a little bit here. Vitesse are now putting a few passes together. Hopefully Van der Kust is going to stay wide and he's going to cover this side. And Recoba picks that ball up. Vitesse again, another highlight. We get the header. I think it was Hato who headed that ball out. They're coming at us now. Not quite sure here. I've gone to a balanced mentality. I'm not sure whether to go up a little bit more, give them a little bit more to think about going forward. I might go attacking, actually. It might seem a little bit counterproductive, but one of my philosophies with football managers has always been, if you attack, it stops them coming at you. Doesn't always work, but come on, Elgson, nicely, Hato. Right, we need to put our foot on the ball now. Just slow it down a bit, keep possession and take the sting out of the game. Ramsey, ball over Van Dijven, and he hits the crossbar. So I am actually going to go up to attacking now. Okay, made the last of my subs. I've also done a little bit of a tactical change. So Eredivise has come on in midfield. Hernandez has taken over from Lakar. Silk at Dewberry is now a defending fullback. And Larson has come on as a defending central defender as well. And also I've put Van der Kust on defending fullback duties as well, just to see if we can tighten it up a little bit at the back. And we are going to stay on attacking, because I think if we can push them to stop them coming at us, but if they do manage to break through, we've got some good defensive cover now. So we're going to give them something to think about now. All my subs are on, and we are attacking, but we've got some good defensive cover in there. But there is still a lot of the game to go yet. So their keeper, long ball, they're actually coming forward with it again. And my defenders there do manage to scramble it away, but so my tactical changes have not worked. We're at a shambles in defence, absolute shambles, and it's back to 2-2. Not ideal. Really don't want to see that again. That was horrible. So it looks like we're dropping points here. Unless we can do something, I'm going to give them an encouraging shout. Can we do anything now in this game to get the 3 points? Or is that it? So last little tactical change. I've moved Eredivise up to a shadow striker. I've dropped Van Dijven a little bit into a pressing forward. Hernandez has obviously moved into the further forward in the midfield now, just to see if we can nick a winner in this game, because to be quite honest, Vitesse are a beatable team and this is not great, if I'm honest. But it's Vitesse with another highlight. They have been breaking forward at will. They're finding big holes in our defence. We've given the ball away there. They're breaking forward again. Are they going to get a winner here? That was a great tackle. Wakonda's going to pick that ball up, and we live to fight another day. 5 minutes left of the game. So Recoba throws the ball to Hato. Delgado just gives the ball away. So we really don't want to win this game, do we? And we've lost this game 3-2. We're going to berate them for that. Absolutely awful. Don't know whether it's my tactical meddling there. Maybe it is. I don't know. I mean, I did say that, you know, philosophy is mine is going attacking. Maybe we should have gone really cautious. But they have ripped us to bits. That centre forward and their right winger have ripped us to bits today. And that, quite frankly, is awful. Absolutely awful. And of course, we don't get another highlight and we go down 3-2 at Vitesse. And that is absolutely shocking. Right, we're training tomorrow. You don't deserve a day off after that. That is absolutely awful. I'm not quite sure, but we always seem to play our game before everybody else. So we're the only two teams that have played were Vitesse and us. So we're second in the league at the moment, having played 7 on 16 points. Still very early doors. Ajax, as per usual, are running away with it. They played 6 games, won every one of them. They're on 18 points. But if Zwolle or Nijmegen, Feyenoord, if they win their games, then we could find ourselves dropping again in the league. So that is absolutely not what I expected this season. I thought I'd upgraded the team. I thought we were going to be better in defence. I thought we were going to be better creativity-wise, better at scoring goals. And to lose a game 3-2 to Vitesse, who are, in my opinion, are very beatable. You know, we're up at the top of the division. I know it's early doors and there's a lot of points to play for and to lose. But we've lost 3 valuable points there today. And not only that, our morale takes a little bit of a hit. So having scored 2 goals in a game and conceded 3, not a happy bunny, I have to say. Not what I wanted to see from this team whatsoever. I think it's quite shocking, really. You know, like I say, that I've got high hopes for this team this season. If you remember, you know, when I did the first episode of the new season, my remit this season is to go toe-to-toe with Ajax and maybe become the best team in Holland. That kind of performance makes me think otherwise, and it does make me wonder whether some of these players do actually need to go now, and unless they pick their performances up, particularly the defence, unless they pick their performances up, I'm going to bring a new defence in, because that, quite frankly, is not good. And it's not the first time this season. If it was a one-off, fine, we can all have a bad game. But we've actually drew games in the league as well before. We drew the game against Olympiacos. Didn't play particularly well. It's a shame, but that's my thinking at the moment. Anyway, if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, please give me a like. If you're new around here, please subscribe, spread the word, all of that kind of malarkey. Helps the algorithms, helps the channel grow. And if you'd like to come back and watch Football Manager played the Gobby Gaffer way, then that would be great. We'll see you next time.